Using this method, I'm going to show you how to do the level 910 powder keg raid target for 0 ballistic shots. Starting out here, I am going from the center of the top side of the target here, and I'm just going to engage and take out the first platform here. The tricky part of this target is avoiding being hit by all the ballista shots because they seem to cover the entire target here. It does take a few runs to get used to this and to know where all the ballista are firing, like the one I just hovered over there. You have to make sure you avoid all of these. After I kill the stuff in the center, I go towards this top ballista, then I loop back towards the inside of the target to get the one in the center pointing to the right. Now there is this one I'm hovering over right now that sort of covers that area, but if you're moving quickly, they don't fire on you there. So I was able to get through this one there, and loop around the corner like I showed you. The Sea Serpent's crew seems to help out a little bit with that there, but I don't think it's necessary, and I avoided damage from that one because I'm only in there for a very short period of time. Up next, I'm going to take out the 2 ballista on the top of the right-hand platform here, and I'm making sure to only take out this platform and leave everything else there because the other 2 ballista at the bottom are covering much of this area, and I have messed up before when I try to be a little bit greedy here and take out more than just this top platform. Notice I'm staying way more than 25 range away from these large fuel silos because I don't want to set them off. You have to be very careful here or use combinations of ships if you do want to blow those up, and you do lose points. As you'll see at the end, I do get the full 1 million points out of this target. Now I'm looping around the very top of the target here to go towards a little bit of the center left area and kill the ballista pointing to the right here. Again, you can hover over these things to make sure you know where you're going to go and you won't take too much damage. Notice I am trying to tank a little bit here. It doesn't always work out super well, but I think it is lowering my damage even if it is a little bit harder to drive. There are definitely places where I have room for improvement here in this target, so keep an eye out for those and try to improve it yourself if you are hitting these things. I take out the very center area of this target on the left side here, and I just take out that small area. I don't try to go for anything else, beach myself and shoot on walls or anything, because I don't want to get shot at for too long. Now this target is sort of symmetrical, so I'm taking out the 2 ballista on the top on the left side here, and that's about it. I'm not going to go for the 2 that are shooting from the south to the north because I take damage there, and I'm also not going to go for any of the other turrets around there because I have messed up before. Now notice I just showed you can't go through the left side because there's 2 shooting up. You can't go through the right side because there's 2 shooting up and 1 sideways. And it doesn't really look like you can go through the center either. There's this one shooting down which you can take care of if you've already taken care of the other ones. But then there are also 2 ballista in here from the south shooting to the north. But these ones, and this is the tricky part of this target, can be avoided completely here. I'm going to show you how to avoid the first one because it's pretty tricky. What you're going to want to do is do the same maneuver you did before and tuck yourself in behind these mountains, and I'm going to zoom in here so you can see much more closely. Then you're going to slowly move forward and stay right by the mountains until the ballista fires but doesn't hit you because it's blocked by the mountains here. So right about in my next move here now, it's going to turn a little bit and shoot at me, but you're going to notice it's clipped the very corner of the mountain. Make sure you do slow steps like this to avoid shots. Then, hover over the other ballista to see its firing arc, and move to a safe zone out of the first ballista directly to the left here, the shortest path possible, right as it fires. So right there, you should have plenty of time to get through. Okay. Now, that ballista, you're out of the way. You only have to deal with the second one on the bottom left here. If you move through it very quickly here like I'm doing, and Sea Serpent seems to help out a little bit here, you're only in its firing arc for a very short period of time. It doesn't have enough time to track you and target you, so you can sneak through a dead zone there and take that one out. Now all the hard work here is done, but don't click away yet and don't stop paying attention because you still have to make sure you're not hit by any ballistas. I just hovered over the one on the right side going to the left. That is a pretty tricky one. I've gotten hit by that a few times when I think I've got the target over and I let my guard down. Again, at this point, I'm trying to tank a little bit. I probably should be doing more of that here. And I have not gotten hit by any ballista shots yet. Yes, a few of them have fired, but they haven't hit me because I used the mountains to avoid that, which is the entire technique here, the entire point of this video. Now this target I don't think is necessarily worth hitting because it pays out 1 million points, 1.25 million if you do already have the other completed, and it takes me about 8 minutes to do that, where I can do a, say, level 134 in about 1 minute or 136 and a little bit more than that. I don't think it's really worth hitting this thing for the points and the time required to actually do the thing, but it is a fun target, and we're supposed to try and play the game to have fun. So I've hit about 10 of these things, and I just wanted to figure out the target and get a video posted for other people who might want to do that. At this point, I'm going to make sure I take out this building on the left side here, and you did notice I got a few shockwaves off on my fleet, which is definitely not ideal here, and probably resulted in an extra 15 minutes damage or so. Try and engage the Phlogistons for a shorter period of time there and kill them before they can shockwave off on you. And again, if you have a high evade fleet, you're going to do better against the Phlogistons. It is a little bit a matter of RNG almost if they get shockwave off. Okay, I'm now shift clicking this Ballista to show you that it is going to be somewhat tricky to avoid here. I cannot go cut in, I have to go around to the outside here. I'm shooting at this platform. I'm going to leave 2 of the flamethrower turrets alive here because I don't want to deal with those. I'll come back to that at the very end of the target. Now I'm going to take down this Ballista and everything else is safe. The other 3 Ballista are pointing the right side pointing up there and in the center pointing to the right. So I should be home free here. Taking out a couple things here, trying and prioritizing the turrets that are actually doing damage to me. Again, there are a few getting a shockwave off, which is definitely not ideal. And make sure you don't go by the fuel silo here, otherwise it's going to blow up and you're going to have a very sad day. It also can distract your fire a little bit, so make sure you shift click on turrets you actually want to attack here, because otherwise you're just going to stay sitting there forever. That's the reason you can't really auto any targets with these large silos in here that aren't killed automatically. Okay, a few more things are down here, and yeah, I am taking some damage from the flamethrowers. This is not a perfect run in regards to those, but it is a perfect run in terms of no ballistic damage taken. Like I said, I am using a Sea Serpent screw, although a Steelhead screw might actually be a better option here if you're looking for just a normal standard crew you can actually roll fairly easily. At the end of this battle, you don't actually have to kill any of the fuel silos, which you will see here. The battle will end without any fuel silos being killed. Now if you're noticing and you have a good eye here, you'll notice that there's a blue dot on the bottom right hand of the screen. So someone else did join this battle. I've got no idea who, but it doesn't hurt me in any way. He just sat in the corner, didn't help out. He just gets 250,000 points for me completing this target, which is a good reminder if you have an alliance member or anyone in your sector who needs points here and you're hitting these things, have them joining to hit the corner of the target after you've already killed about half of it here. Or if they're really helpful, so you don't have to do the whole mountain trick, they can go on the left or right side, bottom, top, and take out one of those turret clusters. I've also noticed this target is not resetting upon defeat. Anyway, damage taken there is a little bit more ballistic from, say, the harpoon turrets rather than radioactive from the Phlogiston, and I did get about 1 million points for this thing, actually a little bit more because I did not set up the fuel silos. Damage taken is a tiny bit over an hour here. You could improve on this thing, but again, this is no damage from the ballistas. The flagship is built with Guidance Scrambler 3 as an evade tank. Everything else is standard here. Everything is X1 except for the last ship. I spent 4 coins on this entire fleet, so there you go. If you have questions on this video, go ahead and leave a comment below. If you liked it, go ahead and leave a like. And as always, this is Derpy, signing out, helping you be a better pirate.